Welcome, ladies, to the Real Estate Investor Show, providing inspiration, strategies, and insight to empower women investors to live balanced and financially free lives. Now, here are your co-hosts, Liz and Andresa.
Welcome back, ladies. This is Liz.
And this is Andresa.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Investor Show, minisode edition, where once a week, Andresa, right, we take a topic and in 10 minutes or less, pretty much jump into it and share some important, not like a lot of stuff around it, but just we get right to it.
I always say if people don't have the time, this is it. You can get in and out of and have something.
And we're so timely that we put our timer on because we do not want to ramble. I should say, I don't want to ramble. As you know, come to know Andresa and I'm definitely more prone to rambling than Andresa. But I'm going to be talking about how important it is to listen to our bodies, because such important concept of self-care is our bodies and if we're listening to them. So I'm going to share a story and then share some tips around that today. Okay. So listening to our bodies, everyone's like, what are you talking about, Liz? So I'm going to share a quick story. You sometimes think you're getting older and wiser. And in some ways I am. And in other ways, some days I'm like, I don't know if I'm getting wiser. I'm getting a little more, what am I thinking days? So I said, I'm going to record a video, Andresa. You're like, awesome. I didn't tell her what I was going to do. So I said, I'm going to record a video of me actually on a hoverboard, my son's hoverboard. And what a great idea is I'm actually going to record myself like while moving on the hoverboard with my selfie stick. And I was like, this is a great idea. Like action shot, really cool. And like, literally, I was so fearful of getting on this thing. And here I am now. Look at me go.
Great. She did not tell me the whole story. She just said, I'm going to record a video. She did not tell me that she's going to be on a freaking hoverboard trying to record her. I just keep that in mind. I did not know that.
Put a disclaimer in there. So I had this fantastic idea in my head and I just visualized it. I'm like, this is going to be so powerful. So as soon as I was about to hit record, now I'm moving on the hoverboard, mind you. And for those who don't know what a hoverboard is, there's nothing to hold on to, right? It's literally you're balancing. So it's really important not to have anything in your hands, really. So not me, though, of course, because I have my selfie stick and I'm about to press record. And I ended up falling badly off this hoverboard, like really bad, right? Skinning up my hands, my knees. And I just like laid in the damn road for like seconds. So I'm like, now I get run over by a car, right? So that didn't happen. But as I got myself together and then what proceeded from there, and that's what I haven't shared, is, really being able to listen to my body. And what ended up happening is I hurt my back. And then I proceeded not to be able to walk for like 2 days, like literally wasn't able to walk. That's how bad it was. And I'm someone who loves to move my body. Proceeded to go to a doctor. I got x-rays done. I just, litany of things to kind of get clear on what was happening. Went to a chiropractor and a few weeks later really moved through this process. And I went to the chiropractor. Here's the lesson. When I went to the chiropractor, and it was around my hip. And he goes, has this ever been a problem for you in your past? I said, yeah, this was really bad when I was running a lot, like literally training for a marathon. I trained for one marathon and you're going to run 27 miles. You're going to put a lot of wear and tear on your body. And I remember going to a chiropractor and I remember them telling me this 15 years ago. They said, you really need to do this ongoingly. They're like, it's nothing to do with your ongoing running, but the way your body's positioned and the way your body is kind of like your hip and how much pressure you put on it, like you need to be doing this proactively. So it's not about a race. Just keep doing this. I said, absolutely. So
doing what? The chiropractor?
Going to a chiropractor. So 15 years later, do you think I've been going to a chiropractor? No,
you have not.
Never listened. Right. So it's funny is that when we do things proactively and we listen to our bodies, had I been doing that as a practice, I probably would not have been the shock of my back. And that's what the chiropractor of today told me. So like the shock of your back, the shock of you falling caused this ricochet on your body and it was just waiting for something to happen, and then it breaks, so to speak. And then you were not able to walk, literally not able to walk. Had that been being dealt with over time and been taking care of your body and your hip and your back and proactive steps, you wouldn't be in a situation. I'm like, great. Thanks so much for telling me that. Now, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm feeling great now. I don't think I need to go to a chiropractor anymore, but I'm going to continue to go in a maintenance sort of approach. I tell you that story because it's so relatable to so many areas of our lives with our bodies. We wait for something like bad to happen, a headache, something with our leg or something to happen for us to actually listen to our bodies and to actually make some real changes. So this time I got the lesson, right? Now, this is the second time. So I now got the lesson. But I want you to think about, as we stand so firmly on self-care, obviously you're on your road to financial freedom, running your investments like a great business and taking care of so many things in your life. But if you don't take care of yourself, no one else is going to. So here's a few questions, a few thoughts to think about as you're navigating, listening to your body. Because my body had to scream at me for it to listen. I had to literally get on a hoverboard and fall off and get injured for me to listen. Now, I hope that doesn't happen to you, right? It doesn't have to be that severe. So here's the question you want to are you engaging in like daily check-ins with your body? Maybe it's when you eat. How am I feeling? What's coming up for me? Just asking yourself, are you in tune with how you're feeling in your body? Like literally, am I feeling a little sluggish today? Am I feeling really energized today? Not just the negative, but the positive. Because then success will tell us, okay, I need to do more of this and do less of that. And so if you don't ask yourself those kind of questions and do it in a way that like you're going to naturally do, like I've been getting up and when I've started to meditate, I do my little daily prayer. I've been asking myself that question. How's my body feeling today? And today I felt really tired in the morning, really tired. I said, okay, I'm really tired today. All right. At least I spoke of it. And I was like, okay, what can I do to make me feel a little less tired? Now, again, it's not just my back, but it's also how you're feeling. So that's number one, is taking a moment on a daily basis, morning, middle of the day, or even evening, but checking in with yourself, I think is one key thing we can do. Second thing I would suggest to you is to get curious about it. So if I said to myself, I'm tired today, or my knee hurts today, what's coming up for me? What happened before for my knee to hurt? Sometimes I'm so quick to be like, well, I got to fix it. I need some medicine, or let me just keep moving. I'm more like the pound it through, don't really reflect on things sometimes. So get curious about what your body is telling you or what's coming up for you. If you're going to ask yourself some questions, exploratory questions, get curious about it. Don't judge it. Have grace with yourself and get curious of what might be coming up. Do I need to go to bed earlier? Or whatever it is for that. And those are obvious things, but those are questions. I'd also say, are we taking proactive care of our bodies? So again, for me, really simple, right? I could have been going to see a chiropractor over the years. I run a lot. I love running. It's one of my favorite things to do in the world. Don't you think I should be going to see someone to help me keep running? Yeah, that would have made sense. But I needed something else to remind me of that. So what is it for you that you need to be proactively doing? Stretching is a big one. It could be a long list, but what works for your body, what works for you to keep you at, that self-care piece is front and center. And then the last question too, to ask yourself is, how do you set yourself up for success? When it comes to your body, when it comes to putting yourself first, when it comes to just the basics. Maybe it's time in the morning for yourself. Maybe it's every time you eat a meal, you check in. How am I feeling? What's coming up for me? What's working today? What have you. I've been taking these vitamins, these 3 airborne. I've been traveling a lot. And I'm like, I just cannot afford to get sick. Not that I can't afford, but I don't want, I want to create a healthy body for myself in the next couple of months. It's really important for me. Right. So I'm like, what can I do? What proactively can I do? So I got these little airborne vitamin C, like gummies. And you take 3 of them. I know it's like not rocket science, but I've been consistently taking them like they're my favorite little gummies. And it's been great because I've really been feeling good. I haven't gotten sick in the travel I've been doing. So again, what proactive things? It's the simple things, Andresa. Nothing I said today is anything anyone's never heard of. But the key for listening to our bodies is making it common practice. Obviously it's common sense. I don't think anyone listening to this would dispute that. But it's about common practice, especially with listening and then getting curious and asking ourselves questions so we know that our body is the house, that we hold it all together. It's pretty damn important. And if you're not taking time to think about it, to be in its presence and say, what does it need today? Then you're not going to be able to be proactive and you're going to need to, get fallen off a hoverboard and get some sense knocked into you, because then it'll become reactive then. It won't be proactive. And that's what we want to set you up for. So that's what I have for you today.
When she told me that, I said, you did what? Oh my gosh. But listen, as we grow older, right? We learn different things. And one thing that I said to her, I said, listen, she's like, how the hell I didn't think about that? I was like, listen, the beauty of you, Liz, that you still have that pure thought that a child has. And I don't want you to miss that. You didn't think, nobody thinks that, when there's an accident that's going to happen. So I told her that, and I don't want her to miss it. Keep climbing trees. I was like, Les, how did you get there? Right. And I'll be like, oh my gosh, get a ladder so we can get down. But as we navigate, you are with us, and we are sharing what's happening in our lives. So we can grow together. That's the goal here. When we are 70 years old and we're having our conversations at the porch, then we can remember when I was 40-ish and I fell off the hoverboard. I was like, no, I forgot about that.
I forgot. Tell me more about that.
Tell me more about that. I forgot about that. I hope you enjoyed this minisode. Let us know what topics you would like to know more about. And we are open book. We're here to share. Bye. If you enjoyed this podcast and want to receive updates on our next interviews, go to our website, therealestateinvestor.com. There, you can subscribe to our show, become part of our investor community, and get updates on upcoming episodes.
If you like our show, please share it with other women who would benefit. And don't forget to leave us a rating on iTunes. We'd really appreciate it. And as always, we encourage you to take one action as a result of today's show and put it into motion so you can live both a financially free and balanced life. Thanks for spending time with us.
Ciao.